CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning, I'm Gervier Denz. I'm filling in for Karen. Today we've got a lot coming up for you in the next 30 minutes. A 103-year-old organization in Atlanta is working to eliminate the human trafficking of women and children. And in less than a week, the world of tennis comes to the BB&T Atlanta Open. It's bigger, it's even better this year. We've got all the details for you. First, though, a report from the Consumer Product Safety Commission says drownings continue to be a public health crisis, and drowning remains a leading cause of unintentional death among children ages 1 to 4. For anybody learning to swim, that can make a difference between life and death.
1, 2, 3,
3-year-old Marlo is learning to swim.
Me and my wife both as kids learned to swim, and we just think it's important because, it kind of eliminates that fear as we get older.
That fear may be well-founded. Drowning is the leading cause of accidental death in children ages 1 to 4.
We can see 1 to 3 drownings a day in the emergency room.
Georgia ranks 12th in the country for child pool drownings. And blow-up baby pools are just as dangerous as in-ground ones. A child can drown in an inch of water. A few months ago, the American Academy of Pediatrics updated its guidelines about drowning prevention, including at which age swim lessons can make a difference. It now says even toddlers can benefit.
All right, let's do it.
Swim lessons won't drown-proof a child, especially a really young one, but experts say there's certainly an important layer of protection. Here's what you need to know right now to decrease the risk of drowning. And nothing beats eyes on your little one.
Our biggest tip this summer is keeping your child who cannot swim at least 50 meters or under 6 years old within arm's reach, meaning you can grab them at any point to pull them out of the water if they were to go under.
Something Aaron Sweeney hopes his family will never have to face by getting Marlo comfortable in the water early.
It doesn't eliminate the possibilities, but at least makes us as parents feel more comfortable.
Yeah, that confidence level is so huge. Our first guest this morning is Jonathan Sims, the aquatics manager at Lifetime Fitness Center in Johns Creek. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
when you look at those statistics, that's pretty scary.
It is. It's absolutely terrifying when you see that children of all ages can be subject to possibly drowning. And so my job actually with Lifetime is to help ensure that we reduce that as much as possible.
So the American Academy of Pediatrics now says, you know what, start them at age 1.
Right.
What about you all? Do y'all start pretty early?
So at Lifetime, we actually start at 4 months old and go all the way through adults. There's really kind of no age range that you can learn how to swim. It should be all ages, and we encourage everybody to come join us.
And for a lot of parents, they think, oh, okay, we'll start the swim lessons, but we'll put floaties on our little ones. That's not really going to protect you from
No,
possibly
it's
drowning.
not, and that's kind of the scariest misconception that a lot of people have, is that the arm floaties, especially the inflatable ones, offer a high level of protection, but in most cases they don't. Either they can get a hole in them, they can start deflating. The ones that go on the arms can go above their heads, they can be underwater. So our recommendation is always use a Coast Guard approved life jacket, like the one we have here on the table. And that can actually help make sure that they stay upright, they stay on their back so they can't roll onto their front. And that's super important to ensure that they stay safe in the water.
A lifeguard, a lifeguard can do only so much.
Absolutely. When you look at most pools, a lot of pools have very high ratios. They can sometimes go up to 50 people to 1 lifeguard to watch. And that first layer of protection and defense is going to be the parents or the guardians of those children at the pool. You always want to stay within 10 feet of any child under the age of 12, we recommend. And then if they can pass a 25-meter swim test at our location, that's when they get the bracelet and they can be without you being within 10 feet. However, we still recommend keeping those eyes on them because you never know what could happen.
Yeah, the eyes, that's like the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
It's really tragic. Just in the last couple of years, we've had high-profile celebrities, toddlers drown. Granger Smith, the country singer, this year his baby drowned. Last year was Bodie Miller, his child drowned. When you talk about a child or really anybody in that distressed situation, Jonathan, they're not screaming for help, are they?
No, they're not. In most cases, when you see movies or TV, they're flailing their arms, they're yelling for help. It's really loud and chaotic. In most cases, it's silent. It's actually very not noticeable. They kind of slip under that water, and you can't really hear anything either,
Right.
because the drowning instinct is actually just to take an inhale of water before, or inhale of air before they go underwater, and use their arms to push down. So really, they're not getting their arms above the water, they're not making any outward sounds, and it happens within a split second, and they just right under.
That is just so sad. And we had just most recently, we had at Lake Lanier, a 10-year-old who, ended up missing. The father jumps in after him. What would you suggest for somebody, a do or a don't in a situation if you find yourself in that kind of situation?
Yeah, absolutely. In that situation, we always recommend, if you don't believe you're a really strong swimmer, use assistive devices. So we have our rescue tube here,
Okay.
that our lifeguards use, but there's sometimes the ring buoys that you can throw in, you can throw ropes, something that might float. Even if you have a spare life jacket, throw that life jacket that they can lean onto if they're not wearing one. And that's actually going to help them stay above the water so that you can grab them easily. If you're out, say, at the beach in the ocean, you have those currents to worry about.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't realize that they can be overpowering to even decent swimmers. So try to use the devices that you have as much as possible.
And, keep those things handy. Don't
Absolutely.
go anywhere near the water without having something nearby.
Absolutely.
That
You
is gonna be of
definitely
help
want to
to
keep
you.
something nearby. If you're at any pool, most pools are required to have ring buoys as well as
Right.
shepherd's crooks that you can extend out that people can grab onto. So if you don't believe you're a strong swimmer, take that extra split second to go grab something, because if you both are in distress, it actually is going to give you a poor result at the end.
And you still have some openings for children and parents to sign up for swim lessons at your
Absolutely.
location?
Our location runs lessons year round.
Okay.
It's a continuous in nature, and our goal is to always be progressively moving them up and teaching them those basic life safety skills of learning how to swim.
Making the difference between life and death in many cases. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
you being
much.
here this morning. Some important information. Okay, so coming up, do you know about the Atlanta Junior League? You might have some misconceptions. Did you know they're trying to eliminate human trafficking right here in Atlanta? We're going to talk with the organization's president coming up next.